Brett Strong, Internet Skeptic. Series title, 60 Seconds or Less, where I utterly destroy the world's top Christian apologists in 60 seconds or less. Up next will be P Moreland, famous Christian apologetic guy. He's a teacher, professor of philosophy, I do believe. Looks like the blonde-haired Marlboro guy. He's got this big, thick mustache, blondest type mustache, oldest type guy. Looks like a Marlboro guy. Chubby Marlboro guy. Anyways, his lecture is Hiddenness of God. It should be stated hiddenness of the Christian God, because obviously P Moreland is a Christian apologist, professor. The hiddenness of the Christian God. Well, I wonder, obviously, has he ever thought, P Moreland, have you ever thought the reason why the Christian God is hidden? I mean, how many times you hear Christians say, I feel like the Christian God is not around. I pray to him, I feel like I'm praying to nothing. I cry out to this God, this Christian God, and I don't get nothing back. There's just emptiness, blankness, just nothing. JP, have you ever thought the reason why this occurs? It's because the Christian God doesn't exist. I mean, that perfectly explains the hiddenness of the Christian God, because he doesn't exist. He only exists in the book of fairy tales called the Bible. And I say that with all respect to you. I respect all religions. There's good in all religions. But talking about the Bible, the Christian God, it's a book of myths, the Bible. And that Christian God is one of those myths in the Bible. The Christian God is a myth. And that's why the Christian God seems hidden so many times to so many Christians, because he doesn't exist in reality. He only exists on paper. Fictional paper, like no different from Superman, Incredible Hulk, Spider-Man. Just fictional accounts of fantastical beings that don't exist in reality. So you write it on paper because you could write anything on paper and in one's mind, but reality says a different thing. And so that's why there's a hiddenness of God. He doesn't exist. I mean, little kids, hopefully no little kids are listening, but little kids often wonder about the hiddenness of Santa Claus, right? And they wonder about the hiddenness of the Easter Bunny, right? And they also wonder about the hiddenness of the Tooth Fairy. Yeah, but we all know that Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, and Tooth Fairy is fictional. They're just myths, legends, stuff people just made up, and we just sell it to our kids and they buy into it. Hook, line, and sinker. But ultimately, those things are fictional. Just like the Christian God. Somebody sold you, P Moreland, this idea of the Christian God. Just like we sell our kids the ideal of Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy. Somebody sold you this ideal of the Christian God. Whether somebody talked you into it or you read the Bible, the book of myths, and believed the myths as true. Either way, you bought into myths, the Christian God. And that's why the Christian God is hidden. Just like Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy to kids. The Christian God to adults is hidden just the same. Because he's fiction, a mythical character. Now, with that said, there's no problem with believing in myths and fairy tales. I mean, it's pretty cool watching kids believe in Santa Claus. Come on, let's be honest. It's pretty cool watching kids believe in Santa Claus. They get all excited. They're like, they can't wait. They can't go to sleep. They're like, oh man, Santa Claus is coming tonight. No wrong with the Easter Bunny, man. Like, tomorrow Easter Bunny's going to deliver some eggs. Nothing wrong with the Tooth Fairy. Kids get the tooth pulled out. They feel good about it. They're going through pain, but they feel good about it because, hey, man, the Tooth Fairy's going to give me some money. I'm going to put it on my pillow. I'm going to get some money tomorrow, so this pain is worth it because the Tooth Fairy's coming tonight. And I'm going to get paid tomorrow. I'm going to buy some cookies. In that same respect, it's perfectly okay to believe in the fairy tale Christian God, the God of the Bible, the Old Testament God, the Christian God. It's okay to believe in a mythological figure. It's okay because you know what? As long as it brings you that same excitement, that joy, like Christian God is real, he's going to come and get me one day and take me out to the cosmos. We're going to live forever and ever. That's a pretty cool ideal. So I totally respect people believing in the Christian God. P Moreland, it's cool. Believing in a myth. The thing that messes up Christian is not the mythological God, the Christian God. What messes up Christian when they get into, mythological hell and punishment and God's mad at you and you're a sinner and yada. That's what messes up Christians. If they just cut all that hell stuff and dogmatic, God's mad at you, he's going to punish you, just cut all that out and just like, hey, this Christian God is whether he's real or not, he's a cool character. He gives me hope. He gives me happiness. He gives me joy. If Christians just stick to that, they'll be just fine. But anyways, back to the matter. There's this on the internet, something called the milk-jug experiment. The milk-jug experiment. It goes something like, I'm not sure if I'm getting it correct, but let me throw it at you anyway, because I thought it was pretty interesting. The milk-jug experiment is something like where they say, if you get a group of sick people, split them up, and half of the group prays to the milk jug, and the other half prays to the Christian God, you get the same results. Some get some type of healing, and some don't. I mean, think about it. The milk-jug experiment. Take a group of sick people, split them up. One half of the group pray to the milk jug for healing, and have the other group pray to the Christian God for healing, and you get the same results. Some in the milk jug group will get some type of healing, and some in the milk jug experiment won't. Just like the Christian God, some in that group will get some type of healing, and some won't. But you get where it goes to that the Christian God is a myth. No different than praying to a milk jug, a carton of milk. Like, space aliens, Bigfoot, Loch Ness Monster. Those are hiddenness. Those are hidden. And people like, space alien believers, they're all excited. Like, yeah, there's people who said they've been abducted by space aliens, had sexual encounters with space aliens, yada, yada, yada. But if you just ask them, like, man, just show us the space alien, that's all. Cut all this, this belief and you've been abducted and people have sexual encounters with space aliens. Just show us this space alien. If they're real, just show it to us. That's all. They can't. It's hidden. It's the hiddenness of space aliens. Same thing with Bigfoot. You get people like, I hear Bigfoot every night in the mountains, man. It scares the crap out of me, man. We're all scared to go outside because Bigfoot is out there. You listen to those voices. Oh, that's Bigfoot. Don't go outside, son. But if you just like, hey, well, let's go outside and see for ourselves. Bigfoot. No Bigfoot. The hiddenness of Bigfoot. Loch Ness Monster. You see these grainy photos, it looks like a elephant trunk sticking out the water, right? And like, that dude don't swim in that lake. That's a Loch Ness Monster, dude. And I'm sure people have searched the lake over and over again, found nothing. The hiddenness of the Loch Ness Monster. So just throw the Christian God into that. The hiddenness of the Christian God. You got the hiddenness of the space alien, hiddenness of Bigfoot, hiddenness of the Loch Ness Monster, and the hiddenness of the Christian God, because the Christian God is fiction. That's why there's so many gods. There's millions of gods. Study history. Everybody knows. P Moreland, you know this. There's millions of gods over history. Every geography, during every time, billions and billions, 70 billion people, there's always been billions, millions, if not billions and billions of gods. Why? Because you can't even prove any God exists, let alone the Christian God. Can't prove any God exists. That's why you could make up that's why people keep continuing to make up gods, because you can't prove any God exists. So since you can't prove a God exists, any God, then you could make up any God, which people do of all times and all spaces, all geographies. Just make it up God. You can make up God right now. Immaterial chocolate chip God. I mean, since no one can prove a God exists, you can make up your own God. It's like, hey, well, you can't prove your God exists, therefore I can hang on to my God. It's like, like Hindus. Well, you can't prove the Christian God exists, so we can make up our own God, Brahma. And Brahma is real, so yada, yada, yada. I mean, and that's cool, too. People really need something to believe in, and that's okay. That's okay, whether your God is the Christian God, Allah, Brahma, well, any God, as long as you're bringing good to the table and trying to live a good life and treat people with respect and not, as long as you're trying to do good and not harm others and be dogmatic, telling people, oh, you're going to go to hell and you got to obey my scripture, as long as you're just trying to just live your life, then believe in any God you want. P Moreland, so believe in your Christian God. Christians believe in the Christian God. Doesn't matter that the Christian God is a myth. What matters is, are you benefiting from the ideal of God? Like kids, they benefit from Santa Claus. They benefit from the Easter Bunny. They benefit from Tooth Fairy. The Tooth Fairy helps them get through pain. Santa Claus, when they're going through a bad day, Santa Claus, just the thought of Santa Claus helps them get through that bad day. So P Moreland, even though your God is a myth, the Christian God from the book of fairy tales is a myth, and that's why he's hidden. Continue to believe in this God, because, if it helps you live a better life, a more exciting life, then I'm not here to stop you. I'm just here to point it out. The reason why the Christian God is hidden, because he's fiction. You find the Christian God in a book of fairy tales called the Bible, but that's okay. Kids believe in Santa Claus, Easter Bunny, Tooth Fairy. That's okay, and it's okay. You, P Moreland, to believe in the fairy tale Christian God. It's okay to believe in the Bible, the book of fairy. It's okay. Just don't be dogmatic with all this hell stuff. That's all. Brett Strong signing off. Till next time. Another Christian apostles, utterly destroyed. 60 seconds or less. Brett Strong.